Now, certainly, using social media is an effective way to communicate with families regarding important college planning information and, of course, publicizing events that you're hosting at your school. There's so much solid information to get out to families regarding the college planning process, both admissions and college financing. Certainly, MEFA seminars present one important platform for sharing information with families, but social media does as well. And the reach of social media is tremendous and ongoing. So I'm just trying to change the slides here, Julie, for some reason. Oh, there we go. All right, terrific. I just wanted to make sure I could change my slides. I hope everyone can see that I've moved the slide. So our agenda today will include a discussion of why we participate on social media. We know it's fun, but there are other reasons as well.
Okay. And Jan, I'll add this one piece too for you. Just that if, as we go along, if people have questions, feel free to just note them in the chat feature or in the question feature, and then we can get to those later too. So that's great.
Perfect, thank you. So certainly there are numerous social media platforms today, and we're going to review Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Now, some of you may already be familiar with all of these, or just some of them. So we'll review these three platforms, and I'll also share some resources and supports that are available to counselors who really wish to continue your use of these platforms, or those of you that might be new that want to dive in and try something new. Now, as part of that discussion, we'll touch on what you can do now as a counselor within your comfort level, and of course, moving forward into the upcoming academic year. So here, first and foremost, I always want to say that we know school counselors are an amazing resource for families. Each and every counselor touches the lives of hundreds of students each year. And through your professional role, and even your role perhaps as a parent who's also gone through the process, you have the ability to impact families in so many ways. And one of those ways is serving as an advocate during the college planning process. Sharing quality information and spreading awareness of MEFA's free service really is part of that, such as seminars, resources on our website and blog, and our email curriculum. So by sharing what we do, we're essentially letting families know that MEFA is available to support them along the way through the entire college planning process. Now, counselors and, of course, the high schools that you work with support our efforts and really are an integral part of helping reach families. I always like to read through the bullet points here on this slide, really to drive the point home that the wide reach potential of social media is immense. So you see here on the slide, last year, just to give a few examples, MEFA's seminars specifically reached approximately 4,500 individuals through our college admission seminars, 18,000 families through the college financing seminars, and 1,300 families through the Paying for College seminars. They're actually called after the acceptance seminars now, but formerly Paying the College Bill seminars. So that amounts for almost 24,000 individuals. Now that's a lot of people. And again, certainly a big thank you to counselors for hosting these types of events at your schools. Now let's go a step further. MEFA actually reaches approximately 75,000 people a day on average through our various social media pages. So that's a big number. So just imagine the power of the knowledge and all the families that we can assist with that kind of reach. Getting pertinent and timely information to families is key, and the reach potential really is extraordinary through the different social media platforms. Okay, so let's just dive in. For those active on social media, there's already an existing pool of students and families to reach. That's a great reason why one should participate on social media. Just consider your family, your friends, neighbors, old colleagues. Chances are there's at least a few people on your friend list that have children that would benefit from college financing information, or who may want to attend a seminar at your school. These individuals may be interested in MEFA services or know someone who may be in need of those services. I think all of us on the line obviously want families to have the information that they need to make their college experience a little less stressful and to have additional opportunities. And we know that for many, having those additional opportunities in many cases comes from planning ahead and tapping into options. This is where we come in, getting college financing information out to families early on. And the great thing about social media is it doesn't have to be complicated. And MEFA has the resources and supports in place for counselors really to help you utilize it to the best of your ability. Whether you have a deep knowledge of social media and are on there all the time, or whether you're just a casual participant, it really doesn't need to be complicated, and you can get started pretty easily. So let's jump into that. All right. So with that said, let's move forward, and we're going to look at these three platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Now, when MEFA asked me to put this together, they wanted it to speak to all counselors that may not use social media at all, to those that may use it, just one platform, and to those that might be more advanced. So, of course, that's a challenge in this type of presentation. So some slides are basic, so as to not lose any newbies, but I do kind of apologize for that, but I also wanted to make sure that I'm speaking to everyone with varying levels of media use. So some of this might be review and some of this might not be. So keep in mind as we go through these slides, I'm really making these recommendations about social media use for two main reasons. Certainly helping you to advertise the events that you have at your school to increase attendance and reach, and providing solid college financing information to families. We know that counselors are experts in the college admissions process. The financing piece of things is super confusing and ever-changing, but obviously a huge part of the college process. So information from MEFA can help with that piece of the process and complement what you're doing in schools. We know that getting into college is just the first step, but that the financing piece of things is also equally important. MEFA's mission is to provide financing information so families can make good choices, increase their options, and make college as affordable as possible. As a past counselor, it always made me sad when students ended up not attending the college that they had planned to. They would leave in June with a plan, then they would circle back in the fall to visit and share that. Due to finances, they couldn't attend. The summer melt was incredible. So to help avoid that, the more info that we at MEFA and you as counselors can get to families regarding the financing aspect, hopefully will help more kids attend their intended colleges. So let's start with the popular Facebook. So, of course, individuals and schools and businesses can have Facebook accounts and find it a useful way of communicating with school members, parents, and students. There are lots of things to do with Facebook. So today we'll talk about how to follow, post, share, and tag on Facebook as it relates to sharing MEFA-related curriculum and publicizing events that you're having at your school. I know this might be basic, but let's just go through this so we cover all the bases. So first up, are you following MEFA? Follow MEFA on Facebook. I imagine that many of you are. So just a reminder to like MEFA's Facebook page if you haven't already, which will allow you to get updates of MEFA's posts on your own timeline. It's great to like it personally as well as via your office or school page as well. And you see, you just click on the little like button there with next to the blue arrow. Okay. Now, you can also invite your friends to follow MEFA. And one can easily do this, whether it's friends or colleagues who might be interested in hearing from MEFA. Think about friends of yours who have a child that they're preparing for college, or a friend who'll be applying for financial aid or will need to figure out college financing. Or you might have a friend that has younger kids that might be interested in how they should begin saving for college. Of course, we welcome you to invite your colleagues in the guidance office and at your school. Obviously, you all share a commitment to education, and of course, financing higher education is central to that. So you see here, you can simply visit the MEFA Facebook page. The address, you can see it, so you can see it right up there, and that's just facebook.com/MEFA-MA. You can click on the invite your friends to like this page option next to that blue arrow on the left. And once you click on that, you have the opportunity to invite your friends, search for friends, and of course click on them and then send an invite. Your friend will receive that request to like the MEFA page, and they can certainly do so, or they can simply ignore it if they're not interested. Okay, so next up is posting with a purpose, I like to say, to advertise events at your school. So you can use post templates to share where you're going to be, what you'll be talking about, maybe a photo of the front of the school or the auditorium before attendees begin showing up. Or if you want, you as a counselor can have your photo in there as well as the host of the event. Now, MEFA has many templates with text right on our website that you can use, and I'll show you some of those later on in the presentation. MEFA also has images that you can save and add to your posts if you don't get a chance to take a photo of your own. I'll also show you those images in a few slides. Now, as a presenter myself that goes around doing some MEFA seminars, I always like to post when I'm on the road as well. And I do find that posts with pictures get way more likes than just basic check-in announcements. And posts with a picture of me and maybe another person like the counselor tend to get even more likes as well. So post those pictures. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about promoting your event. And as I mentioned on the previous slide, MEFA has post templates to share related to what the seminar content will be. So you see the website on this slide. The address is at the bottom of the slide. So mefa.org/hosting-a-MEFA seminar. And on that page, we provide you with guidance as to how to promote your seminar. And as you scroll down, once you're on the real website, you'll see language that can be used related to the different seminars that we have. So please check out this page at some point so that you see all of the resources that we have for you. Now, there are a few ways to use Facebook to publicize your events. One is to create an event on your school's Facebook page by selecting events, then create an event, then you put in the date, time, location, and description, and add a picture. Again, this is where using our templates to share what we have and what we'll be covering makes it very easy for you to create these events. You can also post details on the school's timeline. So an example here, there will be a MEFA after the college acceptance seminar tonight, the name of the school, the time, and a little information about what will be covered. And then you see I use some hashtagging there so that if people were searching for a MEFA seminar, for example, they would be able to find this as well. So it's great to both create an event as well as to actually post the detail on the school timeline. And photos do really engage. These are the images that I mentioned, which can be easily added to events that you create, as well as event reminders on your school's timeline. And you see that there's one photo for each of the major seminars that we offer throughout the year. Now, we know that families that we work with have busy lives, thus a reminder either the day before or the day of is also a nice thing to do. So the example here is great. You see they've included a link to the seminar materials. They've talked about what the event is. This is just an individual at, in this case, one of the schools in Marlborough. Just a great event reminder, tagging MEFA as well as referencing the materials, as well as putting a nice photo out there as well. Another example here, just tagging the high school. And what that does is anyone who's following your high school, for example, will get the update of the seminar reminder. So it's a nice way to make sure everyone is engaging and getting the information. Now, at the event, it's always fun to let people know where you are, show everyone in the school system what you're providing for families, and of course, tagging MEFA and adding photos as well is always a great way of engaging. So just a quick plug for tagging MEFA. And what I mean by that is putting the little @ sign and MEFA MA on Facebook to encourage your followers to engage with us on social media. So in any of your posts at the end, if you put that @ MEFA MA, you can essentially, you're allowing your families to engage with us. And so just another great way of getting information out there. Okay, terrific. So just a few more examples of sample posts. This one here is an actual financial aid office who was sharing information about the FAFSA. Very cute, very creative. So great use of tagging the actual office so that those that were following that office will automatically get the update. Here, just another example. This is actually me out doing a seminar at a local high school. So use of imagery, which is great. And of course, tagging the high school so that those that are following that page would get the update. And then lastly, this version here has all three things that we're looking for. So great use of imagery again, great use of tagging that high school so that followers will see it, and of course, great tagging of MEFA's Facebook page, the little @ with the MEFA MA, and then I also put a hashtag, which is simply a keyword phrase spelled out without any spaces, so that those that are looking for a certain topic would also find this post as well. So essentially, I oftentimes do hashtag college financing or hashtag MEFA seminar, hashtag financial aid for college, things that are related so that it's going to show up in the media stream of anyone looking for it. Okay, so just some samples of different posts. Now, moving on to sharing. Share MEFA's posts related to your seminar topics or posts, or really anything that you think might be helpful. So let's look at some examples on the next slide. This picture here on the left is of a recent post from MEFA. So obviously very easy to like it, where that little blue arrow is. And then on the right, you see how easy it is to share the post on your own timeline or on someone else's timeline. You can see I added a personal message to the post before sharing it. So to all my friends with kids going off to college, this is a helpful packing list or whatever I said. So just a great way of kind of engaging folks that you're trying to reach. So by liking and sharing posts, they'll now show up in your news feed, and sharing allows all of your friends to now see the information. And you can also tag a friend specifically who might be interested so that the information gets on their particular timeline. So lots of great ways of spreading really good information. Just to give you some more little snippets of recent media, the picture on the left is another recent post of a video from MEFA. And then on the right, another post related to a great website to learn more about colleges. So the information available on Facebook really is amazing. So let's move on to Twitter, where one can also follow, tweet, like, and share or retweet. So Twitter is a real-time social networking site, an amazing information network that allows users to write and read 140 or less character messages called tweets. And these can be certainly accessed like Facebook from phone apps or from the actual website. Like Facebook, users can also attach photos and videos and add links to external websites as well. So this is MEFA's Twitter page here, and you can see that I am following MEFA, which means that I get all of their tweets that they put out there. So lots of folks sharing information about MEFA. And here's one example, and I'm not sure if you tweet or not, but if you do, you can certainly tweet details of MEFA seminars that you're holding at your school, or tweet information about other events and information. So this is just an example of this particular user here. Paying for college is important to them, so they just sharing information. Need help paying for college? Look to at MEFA tweets for guidance, and then hashtag paying for college. So anyone looking for information about that particular subject would see this, could click through to MEFA tweets and see all of the great information on MEFA's Twitter page. Okay, so similar to liking posts on Facebook, liking tweets, in this case, you're just hitting the little red heart to like a tweet. Similar concept as Facebook, you're going to press the like, and that way it will show up on your user feed as well. Okay, and of course, sharing. Again, similar to Facebook, sharing tweets is actually called retweeting. Say that fast. But you see here the little share icon, the two little arrows swirling in the opposite direction. You click on that, and you're able to share it on your own Twitter homepage, which is terrific. So similar concepts as Facebook and equally as easy. Now you can see here just some posts, Twitter tweets, and the one from Erin is she was a presenter out in the road talking about thanking the counselor for hosting a MEFA seminar. Then Amy also is a presenter talking about where she's heading out and what type of seminar that she'll be doing. And then the one from Eric is a counselor advertising the event that he was holding at his school. So again, lots of different opportunities. Okay, so just a few thoughts to wrap up Twitter. Consider tagging MEFA on all tweets by including that @MEFA tweets. You can also tag your school if they're on Twitter, so the little @ and the name of your school or whatever their Twitter handle is. And then, of course, images are great. And if you can also include that hashtag MEFA seminar, that really helps track the conversation related to that topic. Anyone doing a search on that term will be able to see your tweet and get information about the MEFA seminar. Okay, and really those hashtags really just tie conversations of different users together into one stream. So it's a great way to make social posts more visible and increase engagement. So lots of great information sharing opportunities on Twitter. So lastly, LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is different than Facebook and Twitter. However, there is definitely value in participating on this social media platform. LinkedIn is a business-oriented social media service, mainly used for professional networking, but has way more than 259 million members. So there absolutely is value in using this, as you never know who will benefit from the information shared. Now on LinkedIn, users create personal profiles, they can search for friends and contacts, and create extensive networks of connections. And LinkedIn works really well for reconnecting with past colleagues and classmates. Now you can see Stephanie from MEFA here, and this is her LinkedIn profile. That's her home page there on the left. And on the right, you see that she's included some information about the company that she works for, MEFA, as well as a link to a helpful MEFA webinar. So you can share different media sources within the LinkedIn portal as well. So if you want to engage in LinkedIn and you haven't already, you can certainly create your profile and then follow MEFA's profile, and that way you'll receive all of the updates that we're putting out there. And similar to other platforms, like MEFA's posts very easily, as well as share posts that you feel are relevant for others to see. And it's always nice to add a comment. You can see here that I shared this and added a comment as well. And this is kind of funny. This is an example of a current Twitter post that actually references LinkedIn. So it's a great, it's a relevant post for students, talking about how students should have a LinkedIn profile in order to really prepare themselves for their career in the world of work. So sharing content really is the #1 way to engage on all social media networks. And social media really is all about shareable content. Find articles that are relevant to your students and encourage people to comment on them. Each time a person likes or comments, it will show up on their newsfeed and open your messages up to a whole new audience, including their connections. Newsfeeds really are critical to information sharing and the successful sharing of information and resources. So speaking of resources, we do have a lot of resources and support for counselors available as well. And as you saw earlier, certainly the images, and these are things that you can keep handy on your hard drive or on your phone, and use these images when you are announcing your seminars, reminding folks of your seminars, creating events on social media. You can use the appropriate images related to the seminar. This just makes it very easy for you. And of course, you can use your own images, pictures of your counseling staff, families, a picture of the school. All of that will work very nicely with the images that we have available from MEFA. Now, another great support for counselors is the actual MEFA website. And you see the two addresses here on this slide, mefa.org/counselors, that has general information about our programs and other resources that counselors can pass along to their students and families and colleagues. And then, of course, the one that's very specific, mefa.org, hosting a MEFA seminar. That, again, is going to give you a lot of information related to hosting the seminar at your school, advertising the event, as well as sample text and materials that can be shared with your families. And here is really your counselor playbook, so to speak, language that you can use very quickly and easily to advertise that you're hosting an event, for example. Okay, and similar for Twitter and similar for LinkedIn. And each one has the appropriate handle for MEFA. So you just want to make sure that if you're on Facebook, that you're using the Facebook @MEFA-MA. If you're on Twitter, you're using the @MEFA tweets. And of course, if you're on LinkedIn, just @MEFA. And that way it just links back to the right pages. Okay, so lots of support there as well. Now, in addition, we have some college planning resources noted on this slide as well. Certainly FAFSA and CSS Profile are the two main financial aid forms, very important information to get out to families. MEFA toolkits exist on the mefa.org website as well that give you specific information related to the topics and seminars that we provide. And of course, some additional college planning resources that will be helpful to families as well. Okay, I always want to mention FAFSA Day. Now, FAFSA Day, Massachusetts, brings together financial aid professionals in colleges and universities, along with a number of volunteers that will be there for families to help college-bound students and their families complete the free application for federal student aid. So that is available. There will be many dates and locations around the Commonwealth, probably beginning in October. And on the FAFSAday.org website, you'll be able to see the different locations around the state. So it's great to check to see where the closest location is to your high school and share that information with families. These are all free workshops where higher ed professionals will sit down one-on-one with families to make sure they get that FAFSA filed, which is really an integral first step in applying for aid and accessing financing for college. So please feel free to find out about the locations in your area, we're going to start planning the FAFSA days for the fall of 2018 very shortly. So sometime in the summer or early fall, you will be aware of all of the different locations that will be available. So please, please, please share that information with your family. So I can't say enough about FAFSA Day and the ability to reach families as well. And then, of course, the Educational Opportunity Centers offer free assistance as well with financial aid. And there's a great website there as well, massedco.org. And then, of course, students, we want students to begin searching early for private scholarships. And you see some examples there, scholarships.com, goodcall.com, and MEFApathway.org has a very robust scholarship search engine as well. Okay, so as counselors, what can you do now? So certainly I always encourage folks to sign up for MEFA emails, and you can do so right on the MEFA website, just providing your email. And MEFA does not sell those emails or share them. It's a great way of getting the MEFA curriculum just by putting in your email on the MEFA website and indicating the ages of your children. Now, let's say you don't have a child still at home. You can still sign up for the MEFA emails and put a variety of different ages in there. I did it last year, say, for example. I signed up last year, and at the time, I had a senior in high school last year, who's now in college. And at the time, I had a high school sophomore and a first grader. Yes, first grader. So what happened was I received a variety of emails based on the 3 different age groups, and it really kept me in tune with what MEFA was putting out there. So that was great. So for my senior at the time, I was getting a lot of great information about the financial aid application process and about how to look for scholarships, for example. For my sophomore at the time, I was getting information about how to prepare academically, how to prepare for the standardized testing, for example. So that was super helpful for that particular aged child. And of course, for my little tyke, I wasn't getting college planning info yet, but I was getting some really great information about how to save in a 529 plan so that I could begin the saving process for my child in elementary school. So I can't say enough about the MEFA email curriculum, and I always encourage folks to sign up for that. And then, of course, update any social media profiles that you have. You know, if you're comfortable and you go and like those MEFA pages, then you're going to get all of the information that we're sending out from MEFA. And of course, you can pick and choose what you want to share with your families and students. And then, of course, engage on social media. If you're on already, you can ramp it up a notch and share the wonderful information that we have available to families. And if you're just starting out, you know, start with one platform and then go from there. And, of course, based on your comfort level, things will fall into place as you move along. And then, of course, as a counselor, if you are hosting MEFA events in the upcoming season, review the MEFA website, the Promoting Your Seminar page, so that you have additional ideas as to how to present the information and promote the seminar, and as well as access all of the text that you can easily use when you're presenting and promoting your seminars. Okay, so those are a few things to think about now as to what you can do as you move forward. So that ends the formal part of the webinar. So I'm going to turn it back to Julie at this point.
Thank you, Jan. And I have one question to start with, and I'll share that if anyone on the line would like to ask a question, you can do that in the question feature on the right-hand side, and Jan will answer those questions for you, and they can be large or small, or in the chat feature as well. But I have one question or clarification, so I'll put that out there first and let you know that at the end of this webinar, I will be sending the slides to you, so you'll have them. And Jan, would that be the place where they would be able to download those pictures that they could add to?
Yep, they absolutely can. Yep, that's perfect. They absolutely can. The pictures are just in there as a regular picture file. So there's 2 slides that have our 2 sets of pictures. and they can simply just click on them and save them over to their hard drive. And then, of course, send it over to their phone if they want to keep a set on their phone as well. So very easy to do.
Oh, that's great. And I will say that I did do that on my phone, and I had the pictures on my phone so that if I was out and about at a seminar, I was able to access them. So that's a good point.
Yes, I do as well. I have them on my phone and my hard drive. So if I want to talk about my event, that I'm doing in advance, I might be on my computer and I can grab them from there. But I would say more than many times I'm on the road and I simply will pull it from my phone, do a check-in, add the photo, add some text, tag MEFA, and then away I go. So either way works.
That's great. Thank you. So yes, let's wait a moment and see if there are any other questions, any thoughts that people have, and we can answer those now. And the last thing I will say too while I'm waiting is just that I find with using social media that I was very intimidated at first, and the more that I use it, the easier it becomes. And so, you can start small and do a little bit, and then you'll find it easier and easier as you go along.
That is so true. And the other thing that I found, just as being a parent of a current college student and then a parent of a junior coming up and a parent of a younger one, and of course professionally being in the field, I obviously share a lot of information on a variety of social media platforms. But it's amazing to me. I might see someone, I bump into them at the grocery store, or I see them at the ball field, and they're like, hey, thank you so much for putting that reminder out there about the FAFSA, for example, or thanks so much about that scholarship lead. And people really are reading it, and they're thankful for the information. And I just find that people are dying, for college planning information in general. So I know, it's a win-win situation, really, to share good, relevant information. So yeah, it's a feel-good type of thing as well.
I agree. Well, I'm not seeing any questions. Jan, that must mean you did a thorough job here. But what I will say thank you to everyone who joined, and I will send the slides. And, we love having you as part of our MEFA community, so please stay connected with us, and we will continue to share and help you with your jobs and at your schools and in your organizations, and have a terrific rest of the week. And Jan, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the warm weather.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.